Buenos dias. Let's go into the weekend with a solar eclipse under our belt. Here we go. Photons left the sun about 8 minutes and 10 seconds ago. So within the next 4, 5, 6 seconds, oh, there we go. Look at this. Bang. The moon has come and ended up in front of the sun. Look. We are in the sweet spot on planet Earth. What we have in front of us is the moon and the sun's corona. Now, a solar eclipse. We cannot be in this position. We know we're in the moon's shadow because if we go like this, bang, okay? So we are directly behind the moon. That is directly in front of the sun. There can be no finite light in this situation, because if it were finite light, the sun that is directly behind the moon could not be there. It simply could not be there. The reason it's there is because it's absolute light. Let's have a peek over the other side, just to make sure. Yep. Now, anybody who's seen me do this outside, mirrors in the sun, exact same thing happens. It doesn't matter how far away a light source is. If you can see a light source, the reason that you are seeing it is because it is powerful enough to be detected by your eyesight. That's the reason that you are seeing it. You're not seeing it because it traveled for 4.2 years and then, hello, it's me. No, that doesn't happen ever. A light source will radiate its light at absolute speed from the onset, and that will be it. There is no, it's on its way. It's on its way. There is none of that at all. Why on earth would anybody have called photons in 1905 when we've got solar eclipses like this happening? Because photons cannot coexist in a universe where the solar eclipses play out like this. It's a slam dunk. The sun radiates absolute light. There is no other explanation for how the sun, the moon's shadow, and us right now in the sweet spot of that moon's shadow can be lined up. It's impossible. How can we be lined up with the sun and the moon if there's an 8 minute and 20-second delay? Had two explanations, both of them knocked a couple of the other ones off of the first and second spot. One of them, it's the same photons. The same photons that are, I think that's what he was saying, that are creating the shadow, the moon's shadow, so the moon can cast its shadow. Those photons are the same ones that are around the corona, that are in the corona that we're seeing right now. So there's a thing. So how could they be the same? Are they stretchy photons, maybe? How else would they? The only other way you can get around that is by saying that it is absolute light. That what we see around the corona is exactly the same as what is casting the shadow, which it is. It's absolute light. There is no delay. There can't be a delay. We wouldn't be able to line up like this. And when we take a peek, and just to check to make sure there's no cheating, we can go the other side as well. That is exactly what we would expect of the sun and mirrors, isn't it? There is nowhere to go with this. Solar eclipse has been happening since there were stars and moons. In fact, eclipses have been happening since there was light, because there's always something to block that light. This is the perfect example of how a solar eclipse works. And it's time for the moon to move on. So what happens is we're still spinning on our axis, and remember, I'm not saying that Earth is round and that everything is round and that nothing is flat. It's not about that right now. Not for me, it's not anyway. So now Earth has been spinning on its axis. Calm down, flat earthers. You know, I'm not saying that what's the word? I'm not saying it literally, right? And as we spin on our axis, the moon carries on yonder. And the absolute light from the sun beams down on us once again. Healthy, good for the retinas. Direct light, not too much, but it is. And off we go. Whether Earth is flat, and I'm going to have to look in, I'm not sure about the physics, but I suppose it's got to be fairly logical, isn't it? In the end of the day, if they've got I might have to have a look, see how it works. Look at that sun. Nearly done.
I'm on a moment.
You going now?
Yeah, I'll come back before 10.
Alright, mate.
Okay.
Love you too, mate. Do you want to use the phone before you go?
Nah, it's alright.
Okay.
No, that's it.
Alright, bud.
Love it.
Love you. And here we go. Sunset. God, how did he do that? Oh. It's not setting yet, is it? Set. Set. Set, 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 set. Alright, not setting. So we shall finish in the upright position. Anyway, I didn't guarantee any setting of the sun, did I? I was here to do the solar eclipse. Alright folks, have a great weekend. Got some fantastic rainy weather science coming up. And the next demo is something that I've spoken about quite often, but we are actually going to go through the motions. It's cool to see the sun's corona around the moon. Alright folks, have a great weekend, and don't be afraid of the absolute light. Everything is live. Everything is now. Oh yes. Laters.